For the seventh play of Christmas, my favorite game gave me Wasp and Taskmaster, silly pigs and goblins, Storm and Sandman, Angry Wanda, Nebula and Drang, Rocket and Hood and a Mech and 8 scary minions. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and welcome back to the 12 Plays of Christmas. My name is Josh. And in this episode of the 12 Plays, I'm going to be taking one of my absolute classic favorite heroes, Nadia Van Dyne, the Wasp, against Taskmaster from the Rise of the Red Skull campaign box. We're going to be playing him in Expert today, giving that a try. And I'm really excited to finally be bringing Wasp to my channel. If you watched all the way to the end of the last one, you heard me talk about how I always had big plans for Wasp on Get Up in Game. I really wanted to show her off because I know she's not among the community's favorite heroes, I don't think, but she's always been one of mine. So I had this whole series plan where I wanted to show a bunch of different decks and all the different ways you can build for her, because I think that's really where her strength lies, is her deck building has a lot of options. But another thing I need to address about Wasp, and I'm just going to do it up front right now, is I need to eat a little bit of crow. If you watched my solo hero rankings video, somehow in the 5 criteria that each hero was being ranked for, Wasp scored a point in every category. And I said it in the video there that I knew that was a mistake and I wasn't quite sure how that happened. But I'm going to say it here too, because Wasp really is a multiplayer hero. She's really not that great in solo. So how she scored 5 points is quite a bit of an embarrassment for me, and I'm still a little bashful about it, but you know, I'm willing to admit to these things, I guess. Because the thing about Wasp is all of her abilities just work better if there's more players at the table. She has an amazing alter ego ability that allows her to shuffle up to 2 cards with a printed mental resource from your discard pile into your deck, and there are awesome cards in every aspect, and maybe especially basic, that have the mental resource, and the fact that she gets to recycle them and see them multiple times in the same deck pass is actually incredibly powerful, and it's very, very fun to make use of. But she has no confuse, and she's not really above average in thwarting, so probably shouldn't have given her a point for board control in that video. So, you know, she can't get to alter ego all that often in solo, which makes her more multiplayer in that way. And then her tiny form is all about defeating minions and side schemes. You deal damage to the villain, so it's just free damage every single time you take something off the board, which makes her activations and cards a little bit more efficient than everybody else's. You're getting that free damage, but you need targets for that. So again, multiplayer, better if there's more people at the table, there's gonna be more encounter cards coming out. And then her giant form that allows you to spread out your thwarting and damage from your basic activation, similar to the last one, requires a lot of targets to really be featured well. So she's not really all that great in solo, or at least not particularly, but I think the reason she scored so many points is just because I have played her a ton in solo, and I've just always found ways to make it work, even though they would be so much easier in multiplayer. But I don't play multiplayer, and I really like Wasp, so I think that's what happened there. I was really based on my experience where I've played her a lot in solo, but I know overall she's actually much, much better in multiplayer. So I just wanted to admit that up front. I'm happy she's here, but I'm also a little embarrassed about some things I've said about her recently. Moving on. So the deck that I have built, we drew her in Aggression, which is not my favorite way to play Wasp, but we're still going to have a lot of fun here. I'm really excited about this deck that I've cooked up, and I really did tailor this one for the scenario. I should probably talk about that real quick, because with Taskmaster, what we got was the Band of Badoon as our random modular pulled from a group of my favorites. And this is just 10 minions added to Taskmaster's deck. Usually he has the Weapon Master mod, which has no minions. It's just like 4, 5, 6 treacheries, basically. And so this is going to be a very different Taskmaster from what we normally see. So there's a ton more minions than usual. So there's the 10 Band of Badoon. There's like 4 or 5 in the Hydra Patrol that already comes with Taskmaster, and then he has a couple. So there are 17 minions in this deck. And then if you haven't played Taskmaster, one of his gimmicks is he has these Captured by Hydra side schemes, and there are these 4 captive Hero for Hire allies set aside, and whenever you clear one of these Captured by Hydra side schemes, you get one of those allies for free. And that's something that can make this scenario a little bit on the easier side most of the time. If you can pull a couple of these free allies, they're very powerful. And the fact that you didn't have to pay anything for them makes the scenario quite a bit easier if you can get them into play. And the side scheme has 5 threat with acceleration, so it's really not that bad. And then the rest of his deck is just kind of your standard fare. It's not doing anything too tricky, and long shots in there, as always. But Taskmaster's other thing is he really, really hates heroes. That's kind of his character's deal. And so you're always punished for either going to hero form or staying in hero form. So with his power here, which when revealed, you get an encounter card. I'm just going to grab that right now so I don't forget. After a player changes to hero form, we're going to discard the top card of the deck, and we're going to take damage equal to the boost icons. So it's especially challenging for a hero like Wasp, who likes to flip forms a decent amount. You know, I'm going to take damage every time I do that. So that's one of the things. And then in his main scheme here, after you resolve step 1 of the villain phase, after you put threat on here, you're either going to put some more threat or take some damage. So it's just sort of a constant thing that happens. So when it comes to building decks for Wasp, the way I like to do it, and the way I think she was sort of meant to be played, is I think you really build her decks based on using one of her special abilities. Yes, she is a flipping hero, but she doesn't get bonuses for flipping in the way that Ant-Man does. So she's not really encouraged to do so, other than if it's situationally useful, but she's not reaping any rewards for doing so. So I think it's generally better to build a deck that's planning on taking advantage of one of her main special abilities. And so what I have done for the deck I built, because I'm facing so many minions, is I'm going to be focusing really hard on her tiny form that says, small but mighty, after Wasp or an event you play defeats a minion or side scheme, deal 1 damage to the villain. So since there are so many minions and side schemes in this deck, I'm hoping to get a whole bunch of extra pings of damage on Taskmaster just for managing the board, you know, doing what you're supposed to do anyway, but getting rewarded by dealing a bunch of damage. So what I have is sort of a pseudo minion summoning deck. It's not full on because there's already so many minions that are probably going to pop out on their own, but I do have cards that are going to bring them out and take advantage of them. So I've got 2 looking for troubles to summon a minion and remove 3 threat from the main scheme. His main scheme, there's only 1 and it goes up to 12. So I have some room, but I definitely need to manage that. And then Angela to bring out another minion for a free ally. I have 3 copies of Bring It. I'm not going out of my way to be engaged with a bunch of minions, you know, not like Steve Kimmel's Party Thor deck or Brant's Vision Aggression minion collecting deck. This is more just, you know, I'm probably going to be engaged with a minion or 2 pretty regularly, so I'm hoping to be able to take advantage of it. And then Moment of Triumph, whenever I defeat a minion, hopefully I can heal for some and chase them down, is going to remove some threat for me. And one thing you might notice when looking at all of these cards, these are all 0 cost. The other big thing about Wasp is her economy is awful. It's one of the worst economies in the game. Her cards are expensive, and she doesn't have any ways to help pay for them. So you either need to keep the cost curve low, or you need to pack the deck full of resource supports and upgrades, and I've already done that in the last couple decks. So I wanted to go a different route here. Plus, I just think this is a good way to run this kind of deck. 2 copies of Relentless Assault to kill a minion and also hopefully deal some overkill damage. And then we're going to be running 3 Lion Weights. There are a lot of smaller minions. This will kill many, many of the minions that come out over the course of the game. And it only costs 1. So again, it's just all about cheap, efficient cards. And she already has a lot of good attack cards. So I didn't need to add a lot of extra attack cards. Just the 2 Relentless Assaults, the 3 Lion Weights. And then she has the Wasp Stings and the Pinpoint Strikes. So she's got plenty of attack. I don't have like a major defense strategy. I'm not going to be doing a ton of chump blocking, so I'm not 100% sure how I'm staying alive, so endurance is going to help with that. And then because she does have such an awesome alter ego ability, I would like to take advantage of it occasionally. So I do have Psylocke and Professor here to hopefully do some confuse so I can flip down occasionally. Now, flipping back up is just going to cause me some damage most likely, but I want to be able to shuffle some cards back in. And then Ironheart, just because she's cheap and she works really well with Wasp, I can shuffle her back in because of the mental resource. And then Throg, because like I said, I'm likely to be engaged with a minion most of the time, so he should get the tough status, so he'll be a nice double blocker for me. Ingenuity, because Wasp is a genius, and so hopefully I can get that out, and then that'll be 1 extra resource over the course of the game. I do have to play it in alter ego, though, so it's situational. Martial Prowess to help pay for the many attack events I have, and the double resources. And as far as her kit goes, she has... I'd really like to get the biosynthetic wings out. Since I'm going to be in tiny form a lot, this will prevent 1 damage every turn. And then the helmet will give me +1 attack in tiny form, which would be nice. And Red Room Training will give me piercing. That may or may not matter. But her upgrades usually aren't that crucial. to her gameplay unless you're really building for them. I find with her, it's more about what you put in her deck and her attack events. The rest of her kit, about half of her kit, is largely unexciting. So I'm not making a very good case for her being one of my favorite heroes, I guess, but I have just always really enjoyed her. But mainly it is about the alter ego ability and the fact that when you build for her, it's neat that you build based on one of the forms. So I'm hoping to show it off well. I say this at the beginning of every one of these, but I really don't know how this is going to go. So I'm just going to shuffle up the deck and then we're going to find out. All right, that should be pretty good. One of the things that makes me wonder how this is going to go is just that this encounter deck is massive. There's 40 some cards in here, which is on the bigger side of an encounter deck. So it's pretty random what we're going to see. You know, the smaller, more focused encounter decks, you're going to see the main cards of what the villain's trying to do more often. But there's just between the expert set, long shot, and then the Band of Badoon is twice as big as Weapon Master. There are a lot of cards in here. So just get a very variable experience. Now, the main scheme told us to put the Hydra Patrol in play. So that is a 2-threat crisis side scheme. And when we defeat that, we have to go get a Hydra minion. The first of many we'll see, I'm sure. And then here it just starts with 1 threat, goes up to 12. And it tells us that if we start the villain phase in hero form, we have to either place an extra threat there or take damage. I don't really have a strategy for that. It'll just be situational. So, all right, now to draw my opening hand, I'm not really looking for anything in particular. None of her upgrades are that exciting that I feel like I really need them. I would like to see an Ingenuity, and it's always nice to see a Genius in your opening hand, just so you can spend it, hopefully an Alter Ego, and then shuffle it right back in. But, okay, the wings will be nice. I'm going to hold on to these for sure because that's going to help me prevent some damage since I'll be in tiny form a lot. Pin Particles is nice. I'll be able to spend that to get a card back because I'll be in tiny form. Definitely don't care about Pinpoint Strike. It's too early for Bring It. I think I will grab Angela, which will combo nicely with Throg. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford all this stuff, but that's what we're going to do. I'm probably not going to be able to actually, but we'll just see what I draw. I get a Bring It and a Relentless Assault. Okay, well, now, is there anything I want to shuffle back in? Not really. I don't need that Pinpoint Strike this early in the game. So definitely not an ideal Wasp opening. Would have been great to get that Genius, but we didn't. So we're just going to flip up to tiny form. And when we do that, we have to see how much damage we take. It's just 1. It's based on the boost icons. So we started at 11, going down to 10. That was kind of easy. There's only 4 3 boosts in there. So hopefully we don't hit any of those at least. Well, I'm going to start out by playing Angela. After she enters play, I get to look at the top 10 cards of the encounter deck, grab a minion, and put it into play with me. And if I can't find one, then I have to discard Angela. So we're just going to go find a nice, easy minion, hopefully. Oh, there's Long Shot. Can't grab him, though. Oh, that Hydra Regular's looking very tempting. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, one thing that's going to be real tricky with these Band of Badoon is many of their abilities trigger upon engaging you, not when they're revealed. So you can't really get around their power. So if I did grab this guy, it would cause me some other trouble. So we are just going to grab the Hydra Regular. That is very nice. Now he has Insight 1, but he was not revealed. So we don't have to trigger that. All right, so he's now in play. I got an ally for free. Since I have no way to bring any more minions into play, I'm just going to go ahead and play this Bring It to draw 1 card just to get it out of my hand. Get a Moment of Triumph. Maybe I could heal if I were damaged, which I only have 1 damage on me. I'm going to go ahead and use Pin Particles, which if you're in giant form, you heal 2 damage, or if you're in tiny form, you draw a card after you spend this. I'm going to spend this as a wild, as a punch, along with a Moment of Triumph, 2 resources to play a Relentless Assault. On Hydra Regular here, deal 5 damage to a minion, and if you paid for it with a punch, which I did, it gets overkill. So I'm going to hit him for 2. 3 is going to spill over to Taskmaster. He starts at 16, he's going down to 13. And then Small But Mighty triggers because I defeated a minion. So he actually takes another, goes down to 12. And just for fun, I'm going to keep track of how many times I get to damage him with Small But Mighty, because I don't think this is an ability we build around a lot. So I'm hoping to show that it can be pretty powerful and deal a decent amount of damage over the course of a game. So we've done 1 so far. And because I used the Pin Particles, I get to draw a card. It's a Wasp Sting. The important thing with that is I can't use my allies to be defeating the side schemes and the minions. It needs to be Wasp, her events, or her upgrades that do the damage. I'm just going to use Throg and the Wasp Sting here to get out the biosynthetic wings. I can exhaust those whenever I would take damage to prevent one, as long as I'm in tiny form. Also gives me Aerial, so you could build that into a Wasp deck if you want to. Now I'm just going to use Wasp to remove one of the threat off this Hydra Patrol. Definitely want to get rid of that soon, being a crisis. And as this is an aggression deck, so thwarting is going to be at a premium. And then Angela is just going to hit Taskmaster for 2, bringing him down to 10. She takes the damage. It's going to be the end of our first turn here. Draw 5 cards, another Pin Particles, looking for trouble. Another Bring It, so if I get a couple minions, that could be nice. Chase them down, and then a Lie in Wait. All right. So now going to the villain phase here, we put 1 on hunting down heroes, and then now after resolving that, we have to either choose to take a damage or put another threat there. Neither of those is a great option, but since I have a Looking for Trouble in my hand that can remove 3 threat, I'm going to go ahead and put another threat there, and then we should be able to remove all of that. Now Taskmaster is attacking me for 2 plus a boost. I'm just going to take this first one to the face. So it's going to be 2 plus 2 more is 4, and we lost one of our Captured by Hydras. That's unfortunate. Getting those free allies will be nice if I can manage to pull that off. So he's hitting me for 4. I'm going to exhaust the wings to reduce that by 1, going down to 7. And then we're going to have 2 encounter cards to resolve. That's never good. First one is going to be Hunted by Hydra. Oy, Insight 1, so we put another threat on the main scheme. So that is up to 4. And then now I have to take a damage and discard a card at random. Oh, that is one of his most annoying cards. So I'll take a damage, and then we're also going to lose Bring It. Well, don't have any minions yet, but that's still unfortunate. And then down to 6, and our other card is going to be, are you serious? Another Hunted by Hydra. Okay, so we're up to 5, and I lose another card. Oh, that's just nasty. This is not going to be a fun turn. Taskmaster heard what I said about him at the end of the last video, where I said he's usually not very hard. And I lose my Pin Particles. Man, losing all my card draw. So yeah, he's coming at me swinging. So, well, back to me, and I only have 3 cards in my hand. Well, we are going to use this Chase Them Down. I'd really like to have used it for the threat removal, but just can't do that right now. To put a Lie in Wait in play, so after a minion engages me, I can discard deal 3 damage to that minion. And then now that that's in play, I'm going to go ahead and thwart away the Hydra Patrol with Wasp. Now, when it is defeated, I have to go get a Hydra minion put into play with me. But first, Wasp defeated a side scheme. So that is another damage to Tasky here. So we've pinged him twice with Small But Mighty. Now we're going to go get a Hydra minion. And I think I'm going to go ahead and grab this Hydra Hunter, because the Lie in Wait can kill him immediately, and he's a little bit nastier than the Hydra regulars. So might as well pull him out and kill him now, so I don't have to worry about him later. So as soon as he engages me, I'll trigger the Lie in Wait to deal 3 damage to him. That will knock him out, pinging Taskmaster yet again, down to 8. That is our 3rd Small But Mighty. And then the only card I have left in my hand is a Looking for Trouble. And I feel like I probably better play it, because I really don't want that main scheme to get out of hand. So we're going to go ahead and play it. Going to remove 3 threat from the main scheme. And I'm going to start flipping until I find a minion. We get this Hydra Soldier with Guard. And then after we defeat him, we get another encounter card. So yeah, I knew that there were going to be plenty of minions coming my way, even if I wasn't trying to summon them. We're going to have Angela go ahead and hit it for 2. It has Guard, so we couldn't attack Taskmaster if we wanted to. And, kind of tempted to go down to Alter Ego. So I've got some room on the main scheme. Don't have anything too exciting to shuffle back in, but maybe I will draw some things I can play. You know what? I don't have a plan for damage right now. Angela should have too. So I could use her as a chump blocker, but yeah, we're going to flip down. And then do I want to shuffle? I'm going to shuffle the Chase Them Down back in. That's going to be nice for the threat removal. And then that's going to be it for now. I'm not going to shuffle something in just because I can, because, you know, if I don't really want to draw it, then why throw it back in there? I definitely want to be seeing the Chase Them Downs again. All right, so we're gonna flip up here. Hopefully it doesn't scheme too hard. Gonna draw 6 cards. Oh, Ingenuity, perfect timing. Psylocke, give me a genius to pay for it. That would be so amazing. Rapid Growth, Wasp's Helmet, come on, genius. Oh, Energy. It's still nice to have the double, but it would have been so nice to shuffle it back in. Oh, wow. All right, so this gets 1, and since I'm not in hero form, I don't have to do the extra thing. He is going to scheme for 2, plus 2 more is 4. Ugh. So this is up to 7 of 12. Not awesome. Hydra Soldier is going to scheme, bringing it up to 8 of 12. And my encounter card is going to be Shadow of the Past. Oh boy. Whoa, this is not going well. So we're going to go get her Nemesis set. So out comes the Beetle. She has guard with 4 health, 1 attack, 1 scheme, and when I knock her out, if I don't spend a punch, she gets shuffled into the deck, which I don't really care that much about that. And then this Mother's Orders here only has 2 threat, but in order to make a basic attack, I have to spend a resource. And then we shuffle these 3 cards in. Kind of mix them up here. Well, don't know what to think about my chances. I'm sorry for what I said, Taskmaster. Clearly you're taking me to task for it. Okie dokie, back to me. Well, we're definitely going to use the energy to play the Ingenuity since I'm in my genius form. I've got all these guard minions in front of me, and I don't have any of my nice attack cards. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Ingenuity and Psylocke to bring out my helmet. That gives me +1 fort in giant form and +1 attack in tiny form. And then before I change back, I'm going to shuffle Psylocke back into my deck because I would like to get her into play at some point. Shuffle her in. All right, now I'm going to change into tiny form, and I need to take some damage, and it's going to be 1. I'll go ahead and use the wings to prevent that. And then I'm going to exhaust a thwart, and when I do so, I'm going to pay this card to play Rapid Growth. When you use one of your hero's basic powers, in this case it's thwart, I get to change to my giant hero form and get +2 that power for this use. So I'm thwarting. Would normally be for 2, 3, but it's going to be for a total of 5. And since I'm in my giant form, I get to spread that out as much as I want. So we're going to take 2 off of here, and then 3 off of the main. Bring it, oh, be smarter to do it this way. Bring it down to 5. This goes away. Unfortunately, I don't get to ping Taskmaster with Small But Mighty because I'm in giant form. But you got to do what you got to do. So at least I was able to clean up the threat. Now I'm going to take some damage here. I suppose I should probably save Angela to chump block. Though you know what? I'm not going to. I'm going to use her. I'm going to attack the Beetle. I'm going to put 2 damage on her because what I'm hoping to do is set these 2 up to both be blown up pretty easily and maybe get some overkill or just some good bonuses from my other cards. And then be able to flip down a tiny next turn and hopefully get some pings off of that. So maybe I'm playing a little bit too hard into that, wanting to show that strategy off, but it's fun. Okay, so I'm going to draw 5 cards. Thankfully, she in her giant form gets 5 cards as opposed to Ant-Man only gets 4. Ooh, endurance is going to be nice if I survive. And 2 lion weights. Well, those would have been nice yesterday. So probably going to need to defend. So we're putting 1 on here, and then I either need to take a damage or put another. I don't have any threat removal imminent. I absolutely have to defend, or there's a very good chance I will die here. So I'm going to have to put a threat on there. Can't afford to take any more damage. That's going up to 7. Then I'm going to be defending Taskmaster's attack. So he's attacking for 2, 3. I defend for 3, so I take no damage there. And then I take 3 from these minions in front of me. So we're down to 3. We are not in good shape whatsoever. And I'm not in tiny form, I couldn't use the wings, and my encounter card is, a capture by Hydra. So this is kind of a softball. Gets 5 threat. It does have acceleration, and I'm already not doing a great job on the main, so that's not going to help, but at least it doesn't cause us any immediate problems. Well, we're going to use Ingenuity to play Endurance. I don't think this game is going to last much longer. It's going to get me back up to 6. I'm going to change to tiny form. And we're just going to use these 3 cards to play Pinpoint Strike. Deals 7 damage to an enemy. If you're in tiny hero form, it deals an additional damage and overkill. So I'm going to hit the Hydra Soldier here for 8 with overkill, which is going to get me an extra encounter card. So I'm tempted to hit Beetle, but I'll take less damage if I take out the Hydra Soldier. So that's my thinking anyway. So he is defeated. So 6 damage spills over to Taskmaster, and then he takes an extra damage for being hit with the Small But Mighty. And that is all I can do. So, really hoping to draw into some healing cards. Would have been awesome to have a Moment of Triumph there to heal back up, but it didn't work out that way. Psylocke, Giant Help, Rapid Growth, Wasp, Sting, and Ant-Man. So, oh boy. So we're putting 2 threat on the main. It is going up to 9 of 12. Then I have to take a damage or put another threat on. Okay, I have some threat removal in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and risk putting a threat there, so it's up to 10. Taskmaster's attacking. I'm going to defend, so 2. If this activation is an attack, it gets +2, so he's attacking me for 4. I defend for 2, so I'll take 2 damage. I use the wings to prevent 1, so I'll take 1 for the attack, and then 1 from the Beetle. And then, oh, that should have been the encounter card when I defeated the Hydra Soldier. So that's fine. We'll say that that was the encounter card like it should have been, and then the boost would have been 1, so he's attacking for 3, so I actually would have taken 1 less damage. Do that correctly, and then I would have had this card for the Hydra Soldier, and then this one. So I get the Badoom Warlord. And, oh, Taskmaster is attacking me again. Well, I'm at 5, 2, 3, 4. I am down to 1. I think this is going to be a short one, folks. So back to me. I have 1 health. I'm just about to thread out. Taskmaster is at 1, but I don't think I quite have enough damage to completely just finish him off. But it doesn't mean we're not going to try. I'm going to use Ingenuity and a Rapid Growth since I'm already exhausted. Can't make use of that card. To play a Wasp Sting. If you're in tiny form, deal 5 damage to an enemy. So I'm going to blow up the Badoom Warlord, which is going to deal the final damage to Taskmaster, get him up to 5 pings. He flips over, he goes up to 17 hit points, and I get another encounter card. His abilities stay the same otherwise. And then I'm just going to use these 2 to play a Giant Help to remove 3 threat from the main. And then no matter what I do, I will die in the encounter phase. So we're going to shuffle up, and that was not pretty. That was an ugly game. We're going to try again. I think we're going to go down to Expert. I don't think I'm particularly well equipped to handle them. We're going to go down to Standard, I should say. We're going to take out the Expert encounter cards. We're going to get Shadows. That certainly didn't help. I can't really say that that's what cost me the game, but it certainly didn't help. So yeah, we're going to take out the Expert cards and Shadows. Let's see if I'm got everything here. All right, we're going to try him again on Standard. All right, everything's shuffled up. We're just going to give it another go here on Standard. He only has 13 health. Of course, we still start with a Hydra Patrol, and I don't have to have an extra encounter card. So we're getting Looking for Trouble, Rapid Growth, an Energy, Martial Prowess, a Lie in Wait, and Looking for Trouble. Oy. I'm definitely not looking to use those Looking for Troubles. The Double's nice. Martial Prowess is nice. Lie in Wait is nice. Don't want Rapid Growth. So really would love to see Genius or Ingenuity here. Professor X, another Lie in Wait, and Endurance. Okay, well, not amazing. Guess we're just going to do a bit of a setup turn here It's a little too early for the good professor, so I'm going to discard him to just go ahead and play a lie in wait. Going to use the double to get martial prowess on the table, and then discard another lie in wait. She can only have one at a time, to put endurance on Nadia. So we're going to bring her up to 14. And then I'm really tempted to just stay in alter ego here, since I don't need to go to hero form for anything, and hope to get a better start. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to try that. So, and then I'm going to shuffle Professor X back in, because I would like him soon, or at some point in the near future. I just don't want him on the first turn. So we're going to see how this goes. Hopefully Taskmaster doesn't scheme too hard against us, and maybe we can make good use of staying in alter ego, drawing an extra card. Maybe we can get ingenuity and genius rolling on the second try. So that's what we're going to do. Draw a bring it. Professor X comes right back. Wasp's helmet, Ant-Man, giant help, and pin particles. Okay, just not getting what we're looking for. Hunting Down Heroes gets 1, and since I'm not in hero form, I don't have to do the extra. Taskmaster is scheming for 1 + 1, and he gets a tough. Then if he already had a tough, something else would happen, but he doesn't. So he schemes for 2. Hunting Down Heroes goes up to 4, and then we just have the 1 encounter card where he's going to scheme again. Fantastic. So 1, 2, 3 more. So it's up to 7 of 12. Just like that. Back to me. We didn't get any minions to make use of our Bring It. Got a handful of expensive cards. Was kind of hoping to make a showing as to why Wasp is one of my favorite heroes, but I do not think that is happening. That's okay. I'm still having fun. Just not making her look that great. So I definitely need to remove some threat. I cannot stay in alter ego again. I do have the professor, so I could confuse him, but even still, I probably am going to play him just to remove some threat, though. All right, well, there's nothing I want to shuffle back in, so I'm just going to flip up to tiny form. I'm going to use Bring It, Ant-Man, and a Pin Particles, which will let me draw a card to play the Professor, which will confuse Tasky. I get to draw a card for the Pin Particles. It's my wings. I'm going to use these two to play a Giant Help to remove 3 threat from the Hydra Patrol, clearing that out, which means I'll get to ping Taskmaster for 1, which removes a tough. I'm still counting it as a small but mighty, even though it didn't damage him. It removed a tough. Darn it. And then I have to go get, I'm going to go get that Hydra Hunter again, which will be blown up by the Lion Weight. Which will deal a damage to Taskmaster, so that'll bring him down to 12. That's another small but mighty. And then Professor is going to remove 3 more threat from here. And then he's going to be available to take a hit for us. Wasp is also going to remove a threat, I think. Let's just try to keep that under control. I feel like maybe I should be attacking him, but that's what we're going to do. So draw 5, Pinpoint Strike, Wasp Sting. There's Ingenuity, and I can flip down soon thanks to the Professor, Iron Heart, and Relentless Assault. Okay. I mentioned her economy was terrible. I really need to draw those doubles. So we're putting 1 on Hunting Down Hero. Since I have 14 health, I'll go ahead and take a damage for being in hero form. And then Taskmaster is attacking us for 2 plus a boost. We've got the Professor for that, and that just does just enough damage to knock him out. And then our encounter card is going to be, oh, gang up, he's attacking us again. Well, I am not too worried about my activation this round, so I'm going to go ahead and defend. So he's attacking for 2. And if it's an attack, it's overkill, piercing, and ranged. So I took 2 from that, and I'm just now remembering, because I'm kind of in a rush to play this second game, that I didn't flip a card when I flipped into my tiny form. At least I don't think I did. So I'm going to go ahead and take the damage now. So we'll 0. So it could have just been a 0 boost. So that's how we'll resolve that. Sorry about that. Kind of playing in a bit of a rush now. So going back to my turn, we're going to use these 2 cards to bring out Ironheart. I'm just going to draw us a card, chase them down. Well, I would say that'd be nice for later, but I'm just going to flip down and use these 2 to get Ingenuity on the table. So at least I do have some resources. Ironheart's just going to go ahead and remove 1 threat from there. And that is going to be that. And then if I want to shuffle in 2 cards, well, I definitely want to keep the Chase Them Downs around and the Professor, I think. So we're going to shuffle those 2 back in. All right, ready up Ironheart, going into the villain phase. That goes up to 4. I'm not in hero form, so I don't have to do the thing. He is confused. And my encounter card is he gets his sword. That gives him piercing and +1. If I want to, I can do some things to remove it. I don't know if I'll bother since it's only giving him +1 attack. Oh, and I didn't draw my cards. Relentless Assault, Giant Help, Pinpoint Strike. Come on, give me a Genius. Pin Particles, Moment of Triumph, and Red Room Training. Oh my goodness, okay. Well, this is a whole bunch of cards I need to play in hero form. So, I don't know if I have anything I care to shuffle back in. Maybe a Giant Help just to make sure I can manage threat. And Wasp, you know what? I'm just gonna, maybe I should just start going in on damage. Maybe I'll play this more like a rush. It's not really how I built it, but Wasp is pretty good at that. She has a lot of damage. It's not my, not my usual style, but we're gonna find a way to get this win, hopefully. All right, since I don't have any minions to kill or any side schemes to remove, I'm gonna go into giant form. I'm going to use Ingenuity, Martial Prowess, and a Pin Particles, which is going to heal me for 2 since I'm in Giant. To play Pinpoint Strike, we're just going to hit him for 7. I would have done a little bit more in Tiny form, but I wanted to be in Giant for the villain phase. Knocks him down to 5. Going to use the Red Room Training and a Moment of Triumph to do Giant Help to remove 4 threat from the scheme. So that clears that off. And then we are just going to attack him for 2, bring him down to 3. And I have Relentless Assault in my hand. I think I'm just going to discard. I might get a minion, but at this point, I'm just looking for damage I can point straight at Taskmaster's head. Going to keep Ironheart for a blocker. And that is going to be it. So we're going to draw 5 cards. Professor's back yet again. Throg. There's the Genius. Moment of Triumph. And Pinpoint Strike. Okay. Hunting Down Heroes gets 1, and then I don't think I ever healed myself with that Pin Particle, so I'm just going to go ahead and take a damage. I'm down to 12. I think my health is a little bit easier to manage than the threat. And then he's attacking me for 3 with piercing. Okay, that's fine. Blocking with Ironheart. The Badoon Grunt is coming into play with me, and when he engages me, if there are no other minions, I get an extra encounter card, so sort of a modified Surge, which I think is pretty neat. And now he's going to attack me for 2, which I'm just going to take. Ironheart is defeated, by the way, by Taskmaster. Took the 2 from the Grunt, so now we have 2 encounter cards. First one is captured by Hydra, no big deal. And the second one is a Badoon Grunt, and since we already have one, we don't get another card. Okay, okay. Taskmaster is at 3. All right, while I'm in giant form, I'm going to go ahead and thwart 2 off this captured by Hydra. Maybe I'll get a chance to remove all the threat in the near future. And then I'm going to change down to tiny form. Going to use Ingenuity. Going to use Martial Prowess and a Genius. Play a Pinpoint Strike, deal 7 damage to an enemy, but if I'm in tiny form, I do 1 additional with Overkill. So I'm going to hit this Badoon Grunt for 8. So 6 would spill over to Taskmaster. Now he only has 3 left. So that does that. That is going to knock him out. So he flips over. I get a encounter card. He goes up to 16. So kind of a waste of damage, but that's what I had in my hand. And now the small but mighty triggers. So I get to ping him. So that'll be the third one of those. Goes down to 15. I did 6 excess damage with that attack, so I'm going to heal for 6. That's going to bring me just up to 14 though. But still, nice to stay like that. And then we're going to use Ingenuity and the Professor to get Throg onto the table. He comes in with a tough. Though I am tempted to just go ahead and use it to kill the Badoon Grunt. But I won't. We'll keep those guys around. Maybe I can get some cool effects off of them next turn. Okay. So, drawing up to 5, Rapid Growth, Wasp Sting, Bring It, Giant Help, and a Wasp Sting. So, decent amount of damage. He's only at 15. So the main is getting 2 thanks to the Captured by Hydra acceleration. He's attacking for 2 plus a boost. We're going to put the Throg's Tough in front of that. Oh, but he has Piercing, and he would have had Piercing anyway, so in the end it didn't matter. So he's attacking for 3. This doesn't give him a boost, but it gave it Overkill, Piercing, and Range. So either way, he's blown up Throg, and then I'm taking 1 damage from the Overkill, and then 2 more from the Badoon Grunt. I have 2 encounter cards. First one is, now he has this Photographic Reflexes, so it's basically an armor. He's going to hit damage back at me. And then Hydra Regular with Insight 1. Hey, buddy! It's absolutely crazy. You're not going to take that nap. Yeah. All right, first thing we're going to do is play a Bring It to draw 2 more cards, chase them down, and a Psylocke.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, kitty. How are you doing? Go ahead.
Are you able to finish this?
I'm pushing through as fast as I can.
Wait,
I've been playing at like rapid speed.
Okay, because nap is not happening.
Yeah, I see that. All right, so I need to get rid of this Photographic Reflexes, so I'm going to attack for 1, which is going to deal 1 damage to him, but it doesn't. It deals the damage back to me instead. Also, you're going to be hearing my boy because he chose not to take a nap, but I really do want to finish this up. And I'm probably not going to be able to edit out everything he chatterboxes, so I hope that is cute to you and not annoying. So then, it's cute to me, certainly. After that, so now that that's gone, Taskmaster is available to be shot at. And I'm starting to think I might just try to rush him down and go for the win. So we're going to do Ingenuity and Martial Prowess. Hi. To hit him with a Wasp Sting. I'm in tiny form, so that is 5 damage. He's holding my arm. I can't. Okay. Gets me down to 10. This is what it takes to get 12 playthroughs out in 1 month. Everybody, I don't normally have anything remotely close to that kind of production. And I'm going to hit him with another Wasp Sting here. Yeah, we're just going to do as much damage as we can. So we're going to do Psylocke and chase them down for another Wasp Sting. 5 more damage. Down to 5. And that is all I can do damage-wise. Now, I'm a little befuddled. So, did I flip down from giant form this turn? Yes, I did. Shoot. Okay, my whole surviving strategy here was to go to Alter Ego, but I'm realizing now I cannot do that. So we're just going to have to hope we live through this turn. I'm going to discard those cards because they aren't 5 damage, which is what I need to win. And we're just going to hope to draw that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, good. I'm going to have an extra encounter card. And I don't have a way... But if I survive, I should be able to do 5 damage with everything I have access to. So here's hoping I just live through this. So hunting down... Oh, hold on. I got to finish everything up. So I got an extra encounter card. Shuffle up my deck here. When I changed... Darn it, I forgot again. When I changed forms, I would have taken 3 damage. Sure. I think I'm dead. Down to 7. Okay. Taskmaster is attacking me. Wait, no, I forgot to... Okay, I don't know what happened to the threat on the main. I'm pretty sure I had just put a 5 on there, and I don't know where it went. So that's what we're going to say. Clearly, I'm a little bit discombobulated at this point. Taskmaster is attacking me. If I have any hope of surviving this turn, I'm going to have to defend. So he's attacking me for 3. Plus, I'm just going to put an extra threat on there for that thing. He's attacking me for 3, 4, 5. I block 2, so I take 3. Down to 4. Then I take 4 more and die. Ah, dang it. So, well, that was pretty terrible. Not going to lie. Kind of sad that's how that one went. All these plays have been going really well. Let's see my encounter cards. Hey, I would have got long shot. That would have guaranteed a win, but would have gotten the Warlord, would have been fine. And this, well, if I had gotten down to 1, this would have killed me. So I think no matter what, I was pretty much dead. But I definitely could have won if I had survived. Well, that was not a great showing for Wasp. I'm a little sad I couldn't have done a better job with her. When you do 12 plays, some of them aren't going to go your way, I guess. So, well, I want to thank you for joining me. Sorry I didn't make Wasp look better. Would have loved to have played her in a different aspect, but it was still fun. I still had a good time trying to figure out how to make it work. But Taskmaster definitely got his revenge for me calling him easy, not only on expert, but also on standard. He really showed me who the boss was. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was still fun for you, even though that was just a total beatdown for me. But thankfully, the fun isn't over because I still get to open my presents. So I'm just going to quickly move this stuff out of the way so I can do that, because I'm still trying to wrap this up as fast as I can so I can help my wife with my boy. But we definitely need to open up and see what's next. Hopefully, whatever we get will be a better situation than we found ourselves in this time. You know what? I'm not even going to edit or cut away. We're just going to roll right into this. Okay, here we go. The villain is going to be... Gosh, I really do feel bad for Wasp. I'm going to have to circle back to her sometime in the near future and try to show her a little bit better. Okay, cool, Mysterio. Love Mysterio. Very, very cool. Lots of awesome mechanisms. And he, instead of the Whispers of Paranoia that he normally gets, it is the Masters of Evil. Okay, so he's not going to have nearly as many illusions as he normally does, but he's going to have more minions, that's for sure. That's a classic set. I know this is just a core set mod, but I just really enjoy these. They definitely made it in my top 12 favorite mod sets. They're just fun to hang around with. So who is going to be taking on Mysterio with the Masters of Evil? Who's going to be trying to get revenge for poor Wasp, who looks very, very bad? Oh, happy day. It's Nova, the first and probably, definitely not last of our champions. It's pretty much my favorite team in the game, so you might be seeing a few of these. But yeah, awesome. Super excited to be playing Nova again. I didn't play him that long ago, but I'm still excited to play him again soon. And his aspect is going to be Justice. Okay, I already played him in Justice recently. I did the 3-card stud deck. Maybe I'll just bust that one out again, or maybe I'll come up with something different to go up against the Masters of Evil and Mysterio. But we will see that next time, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry if this one was a little chaotic, a little crazy. But like I said, that's what it takes to get 12 playthroughs out in 1 month for me. So hope you had fun, and I look forward to seeing you next time we get up a game. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.